What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite pocket knives. These are pocket knives that I have had a lot of experience with. I've carried all of these for a lengthy amount of time. I don't know if that's the right word to use, and I feel like they deserve their own video. These are all pretty budget options. These are all under 50 bucks, and I feel like they are the most solid pocket knives you can get on the market for that price. And honestly, I'm not the type to spend over $100 on a knife. I think a knife should just be a tool that helps you get through your day, and spending $100 plus on something that could possibly break in your pocket is just a little bit nuts to me. I do have knives that are around the $80 mark. I have the Spyderco Delica 4 and the Kershaw Blur. Those are my two most expensive pocket knives, and those I do like to carry often, but these are my favorite ones. So let's take a look at each of them, and I'll tell you why I like them so much. So let's get to it. And I do want to let you guys know I am filming by a road, so there might be cars driving by, and I do have a loud neighbor across the street who likes to use his saw, so if there's some loud noises, I do apologize, but I wanted to film this video outside. I just felt like it. So, first up, we have the Gerber Shark Belly. Now this is my favorite work knife. I carried this when I worked at Famous Footwear. I was an assistant manager and I was constantly opening boxes and tags. I was cutting tags off of shoes, to make displays, and this is just a really awesome lightweight designed knife. It has some plastic handles. I love the deep carry wire pocket clip it has. This thing sits in the pocket beautifully. So super nice there. I'm a huge fan of deep carry pocket clips. This is called the Gerber Shark Belly because it has a huge blade surface. I usually don't like serrations, but the fact that this is you basically get a really large amount of straight edge and a little bit of serration without sacrificing a lot of straight edge, which is really nice. It's made out of 420 HC steel, which is very decent steel. It should get you through your day-to-day tasks. It's pretty easy to sharpen. I just think overall this is a really solid knife, and I like the safety of the back lock. So, all in all, great work knife. If you're opening boxes and doing stuff like that every day, I would highly recommend this knife, and it's only around 30 bucks. I will have everything linked in the description. I'll try to find everything on Amazon, but if I have to link a different website, there you go. So the Gerber Shark Belly, like I said, really solid knife. I definitely go pick it up. And next up, I think this is pretty much on everybody's kind of top knives list. This is the Ontario Rat Model 2. Now this is the smaller brother to the Ontario Rat Model 1, which is a fantastic, both of them are fantastic EDC knives. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the pocket clip because it's not deep carry, but it's a very adequate, decent pocket clip, and I didn't really have any issues with it, but if it was more of a deep carry, I think this would be my #1 knife ever. This is the one with AUS-8 steel. I believe they have one with D2 and they have one with 8CR13. I upgraded and got the AUS-8 one because AUS-8 is a very decent steel. It should last you through anything you throw at it. I believe it's G10 handles. And then I got the one with the black oxide coating. I also have one that's just the regular stainless steel version, but all in all, I think this is one of the best knives that you can get on the market by far, and it's only like 25-30 bucks. I do love the liner lock. There's a lot of room for you to put your thumb in there and press it down, and this thing flies out beautifully. It's just, the action on this thing is absolutely awesome. Every time I open this knife, it's just the smoothest operation, and I love it. So all in all, fantastic knife. It's one of the best knives I've ever seen any company make. It's just really solid. And what's cool about this knife is you can actually flip the pocket clip, so you can put it, you can carry it tip up or tip down, left or right carry. And all in all, I just love flicking it open. It's almost like a fidget toy to me. So, as you see, I have used it. I've put it through its paces. I've opened boxes. I've, cut cardboard paper. I've cut tags. I've cut pretty much everything with this thing. So, really solid, and I'd highly recommend this knife. Ontario Rat Model 2. If you don't have one in your collection, please go pick it up. You definitely won't regret it. Now, I have a story about this knife. I actually got it. I went to a Christian camp with my dad, and there was a kid there, and we formed a really good friendship over the weekend, and he actually gave me his pocket knife. I think I was around 10 or 12, and I said, that was when I didn't really have any pocket knives. I had a couple Swiss Army knives. My first pocket knife was actually a Swiss Army knife. It was the Victorinox SD Classic, the super small one. It was a black one. So he actually gave me his pocket knife, and this is the one. So I've had this for years and years, and it's actually not a Victorinox. This is actually made by Wenger. So as you see here, it says Wenger and made in Switzerland. So this is a very, very old knife, and I'm really happy that I own a Wenger product. And this is one of my favorite pocket knives I've ever owned. The blade still is nice and sharp. I've sharpened it up a few times with some pocket with some pocket sharpeners, but this thing looks really, really good for how old it is. I've cleaned it a couple times, but it still has all the original tools. Nothing's broken. It has the can opener. It has the bottle opener. It has a little file nail digger outer type of thing, and then it has the main blade. And then on the back here, you have a Phillips head, and you have an awl. So, well, actually, this is called a reamer, I believe. I think an awl has a sharp point, and this, a reamer is literally just to punch holes through things. So, but all in all, this has been one of the most solid pocket knives I've ever owned. I carried this thing for a very long time in my backpack, when I went camping, pretty much anywhere that I've gone that hasn't been to school, I usually had this on me. And then when I started getting into pocket knives, I sort of pushed this thing to the side, but it's still one of my favorite all-time pocket knives, and I would definitely go pick one up. I believe the equivalent to this one now is the Victorinox Recruit. So if you don't own a Swiss Army knife, I would definitely go pick one up. You will definitely not regret it. And next up, I call the Robocop knife. This is the Kershaw Amplitude 3.25. I've seen it called the 3.25, but for some reason Kershaw calls it just the Amplitude. That's what I'm going to call it for the rest of this video. But this thing is a sleek, slim, one beautiful, solid knife. So you can pick this up for around 25 to 30 bucks. They also make a version that's completely black, but I like the silver with the blue accents. It just looks really, really good. My favorite part about this knife by far, and why I've carried it for so long, is that pocket clip. Look how deep carry that thing is. That is right up against the back of the knife. I don't really have enough good things to say about this knife. It's just absolutely fantastic. I have owned the Amplitude in the past. I had one a really, really long time ago, and I don't know what happened to it. I think it broke, and it wasn't the knife's fault. I probably did something bad to it, but this knife has held up fantastic. I don't think I've sharpened this thing in probably 3 years, and it still is razor sharp. It does use 8CR13 MOV, which some people think is a crappy steel. I think it's a perfectly adequate steel for everyday use. If you're out there carving branches and doing bushcraft stuff, obviously it's not going to work. But I think if you're looking for just a nice EDC knife, this thing will definitely do the job for you. It's a really, really nice looking knife too. You could carry this thing in a suit and it would definitely fit in. It's really a really beautiful looking knife. I like the way it looks, at least. So I guess that's all that matters. There's no thumb studs, which is fine. There's a little bit of jimping on the top, which is fine as well. This thing's not really designed to hold up to a bunch of stuff. I mean, it does have a frame lock, which is nice. It's not a linear lock. It actually uses the frame of the knife, the body of the knife, to lock it, which I think is a little bit more secure than a linear lock, but that's just me. But all in all, fantastic knife. Definitely go pick one up. The Kershaw Amplitude. And last but certainly not least, we have the Gerber US1. Now this is basically the best modern kind of traditional folder that I think you can get on the market. This thing runs about 25 bucks, 25 to 30, depending on where you get it. And this thing is just a really awesome, solid, traditional knife. There's really nothing else to say about it other than it's just nice and solid. It has a really nice, grippy handle here. It has the traditional back lock. And then the blade is actually really nice. It's 420HC steel, and it is made in the USA. So if you're a USA nut, you'll definitely love this knife. But the thing I love about this knife is just how good it feels in the hand. And just the overall build quality. I really, really like this knife for some reason. Now this is kind of the knife that I'll take with me if I'm going to the store, or if I'm just hanging out with family and stuff and I just want a nice small little pocket knife on me. This is usually what I will carry on me. I won't carry one of my big knives because I don't really need it. This thing is just the perfect size. It's not too big, not too small, and it's just an overall really, really solid knife. And I think you should add it to your collection. Throw this in your car. You can throw it in a glove compartment. You can throw it in a backpack, in a little pocket organizer. Pretty much put this thing anywhere and it'll get its use. I've used this thing for pretty much anything you can think of. I've actually cut steak with it. I've peeled an orange. I've cut paper, cardboard, pretty much anything. And this thing stayed nice and sharp. And I own a little pocket sharpener, like I said before. And so I sharpen that with this. Overall, really solid option, and I would definitely go pick one up. Gerber US1. So that is going to do it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Everything will be linked below. Let me know if you agree with any statements that I made, and if you carried any one of these pocket knives. I'd be really interested to hear that. and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great New Year's. Stay humble. Peace.